heart beats just a little faster right now, doesn't it? As they stand alone right now. No cornermen. They're just ready to make the ring walk for the biggest fight that boxing can make.
You're serving Black to Body Coast Coast. It's your boy Shadow Ghost. Keep your hands up, keep your chin tucked, man. Hit that notification bell for upcoming content for Shadow Ghost 81. We gonna jump straight into it. Today we're gonna talk about Rolly Romero, and we're gonna talk about the Charlo and Castano a little bit more. First, let's talk about Rolly real quick. You know, Rolly, he had that when he fought on the undercard. The guy that he fought was an Olympian. The guy came in about at the 140-pound weight limit. Rolly got caught a couple times, but you know, Rolly showed that he's a very unorthodox fighter. To me, he's got a just very weird way of fighting. Very, very flat-footed. We all know he makes this weird sound every time he throws a punch. And he got caught a couple times. But the one thing that I'll tell you about Rolly is that he's a character. He's a character, and every shot he throws is with bad intentions. And I think that I'm starting to like the guy. Pause. As far as like boxing, like I think like he's good for boxing. He loves playing the villain. You saw like he had a point taken away. He tackled the guy. He threw the guy down. He got all rough. The crowd started booing him. He didn't give a shit. Even after he knocked the guy out, he got up on the ropes, and people were like, they were looking at him like he was a villain in a damn movie, and he was soaking all that shit up. He did not care, bro. He took that little interim Jack in the Box title, and he was happy. He was happy with it. Walking back to the arena, walking back to the locker room, people were still booing him, and he's still holding it up in the air. Man, he's soaking that shit up, man. But he's a character. I think it's good, man. You need those type of villains in this sport. He talks shit about Devin, Ryan, everybody. Tank. He says he wants to fight Tank at 140. Now I know people think that that's laughable. I look at that fight and I'm like, hey, shit. Hey, Rolly's gonna run into something if he fucks around and fight Tank. But you know what? I think about it like this. Floyd said he wants to keep everything in-house, right? He wants to keep everything in-house. I don't know why. I mean, we know why. We know why. I mean, it's good for him. It's good for his investment. It's good for PBC. It's good for Al Haymon. It's good for Leonard Ellaby. But it's not good for boxing. But anyway, nonetheless, he wants to keep it in-house, right? So Rolando Romero is under Mayweather Promotions too, right? And I remember, like, if we all look at it, right? There was an interview with Mayweather years back, and somebody was asking about fighting Tank. Another fighter wanted to fight Tank, and he said, you know, I got a fighter named Rolly. If he beats Rolly, then I'll let him fight Tank. It's almost like Rolly was his frontline throwaway sacrifice. So I'm looking at it like, you know, Floyd definitely favors Tank, and as far as like his investments, he doesn't push Rolly the way that he pushes Tank. I mean, it's obvious. When Tank fights, oh man. I mean, because obviously Tank is a bigger draw. Rolly's not even a draw. So why not just feed Rolly to Tank? I'll tell you what I see in that fight, though. Rolly will not run from Tank. I see Rolly going forward, and every punch he throws is with bad intentions, bro. And the lead up to the fight will be great, bro. They'll be talking shit. Rolly in the way he talks. And even though he makes a weird sound, I'll tell you, man, when he swings, he's trying to kill you. It's like every punch is like on 100. Like from 1 to 100, every punch is thrown at 100. So, I mean, I think it's good, man. Tank is explosive. Rolly is explosive. I'd love to see it, man. Fuck it. Hey, beat him to Tank. Go ahead. And Rolly to me isn't the smartest guy in the world. He wouldn't know that he's getting a raw deal out of it. So just let it happen. You want to keep it in-house? Keep it in-house. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about that. But moving on to Charlo and Castano. I first would like to say, man, I am a huge Jermell Charlo fan. I still am a Jermell Charlo fan. I call him Big Bro all the time. In all my videos, I've called Jermell Big Bro. I feel like out of the both brothers, he's the most accomplished. I feel like he's the one that's never really ducked anybody. He's the one that's always wanted that smoke. He's the one that showed more grit and determination in fights. He's the one that he bounced back from that Tony Harrison loss, and he came right back, and he wanted that rematch bad. He wanted that rematch bad, bro. He knocked out Jorge Cota, got back because they were supposed to have the Tony Harrison rematch, but then Tony Harrison said he got injured. He knocked out Cota, came back, had the rematch, was getting outboxed a little bit by Tony Harrison, but then stayed in the fight with that mental fortitude and that heart and that toughness and that grit, and knocked him out and got his belt back. And then he knocked out Jason Rosario like a couple times, bro. Hit him with that body shot, had him convulsing on the floor. I fucks with Jermell, man. I fucks with him. I understand the fact that he feels like he wasn't on the pound for pound list. I feel like he did get a Raw deal. All those times that all these networks, and that's why we shouldn't pay attention to all these ESPN and all these other networks, because these guys are in it for the money. They're not really looking out for. They still have certain fighters like that are on the pound for pound list that fight under their network. Of course, they're not gonna have Jermell on their pound for pound list. So I agree with that. But let's get into the fight, man, because the fight for Undisputed, right? 2021, to me, is a year of Undisputed. I mean, we had Jose Ramirez, Josh Taylor. We were going to have Anthony Joshua and Fury. And we had Jermell, Charlo, and Castano. I keep saying that I've been saying that the Canelo implant is not going to happen. But if that happens, and I hope it does happen, that's another Undisputed right there. This was for history, and I feel like we had a great fight. To me, this was a great, memorable fight. We could look back at it years later and say, damn, this was a good fight, man. But the outcome, a lot of people are saying that some people say that they're happy with the outcome. I'm not happy with the outcome. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I feel like nothing got accomplished. I feel like guys put their blood, sweat, and tears on the line and walked into the fight and walked out with nothing. Both of them walked out with nothing. And what I mean by walking out with nothing is like they didn't gain anything. I mean, they didn't lose anything, but they didn't gain anything. And the whole purpose of the fight was to gain something. I'm gonna tell you what I saw in that fight. I saw leading up into the last couple of rounds, I saw Derek James telling Charlo in the corner that he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. He told him in the last round that he needed a knockout. And then after the fight, Jermell was saying that he felt like he didn't do enough. I saw Jermell and Jermell both get down on their knees, like praying during the decisions, like they weren't really confident that Jermell was going to get the nod. I mean, they literally had to kneel and start praying. That didn't sound like they were too confident. And then when he was asked about the rematch, he said, hey, you need to speak to my manager, Al Haymon. Now, I know a lot of people multiple people that are saying, hey, man, you know the business. You know how it is with the PBC. You got to talk to Al Haymon. That's true. I understand. You do got to talk to Al Haymon. But first of all, you Lions only promotion. Like, ain't you supposed to be like the head of your promotions? And even if you do go through Al Haymon, bro, you Jermell Charlo, bro, you big bro to me. You supposed to be like, yeah, I do want that rematch. I want Undisputed, bro. But I need to run it through with Al Haymon. That's not what you said. It sounds like to me, bro, like, I don't know. I don't know, man. The energy just did not look like, it looked like to me that you was okay with the draw. Even when you had that loss against Tony Harrison, you said, man, I don't even like to lose video games. It just looked different to me. Everything looked different to me. And that's not the Jermell Charlo that I'm used to seeing. That's all I'm saying. I'm not hating because I like Jermell. I want to see Jermell succeed. And although I knew about Castano, I became a fan of Castano over that fight too, because I feel like he gained a lot of my respect too. And prior to the fight, I picked Jermell to win. I had Jermell winning by 10th round knockout. And I score all my fights the same, man. And that's the thing, right? It doesn't matter whether I want that fighter to win. It doesn't matter whether I like that fighter, whether I prefer this fighter over the other fighter, whether maybe one day I'm going to do an interview with this fighter or I'm going to meet this fighter. I'm not going to change the criteria of how I look at a fight for this guy. I don't do that. That's just not how I am. I'm just going to call the fight how I see it down the line. I had Jermell winning by a knockout. That was my prediction. That's not what I saw. After watching the fight a couple of times, I have a 7-5 Castano. If you want to push a couple of the swing rounds around, that's why I can see it a draw. But that's me honestly being gracious. And if you saw the fight and had it a draw, I understand. But to say that Jermell got robbed, that's the shit that I've been hearing a lot from some people. I don't understand, but it is what it is. If that's the case, then doesn't Castano have a right to say that he got robbed? Both of these guys got robbed in that sense, wasn't it then? I mean, if you want to say it like that, I mean, if anything, to me, Castano got robbed if I saw that Castano won the fight. But then again, like I said, I had Jermell winning the fight prior to the fight. I said, I'm a Jermell Charlo fan. So it is what it is. I just call boxing how I see it, though. I try to take a lot of my bias out of it, and I'm not saying that that I'm not biased, because I know a lot of people, there's no way that a person cannot be biased, bro. People have bias in them, and believe me, the more you talk to a lot of these guys on the internet, you will see the bias in them. You will see it in them. You can see it in them, and that's why I try to stay away from that. But I'm human. Sometimes you catch me doing that. You know what I mean? And if you catch me doing that, then be like, yo, Shadow, man, you sound like you're being a little biased, bro. Tell me, bro, so I'll be like, yo, you know what? Let me analyze that. Because I don't want to be biased, bro. I don't think it's good for boxing. I really don't. Just like I don't think fucking keeping the shit in-house is good for boxing. Yeah, that might be good for your promotion. That might be good for your fighter. But it ain't good for us, the fans that's paying for it. Just like I don't think that Undisputed should be fought on somebody's home turf. It should be fought on a middle ground, even though I understand that's politics. Look, that's just the way I think. I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm just saying it's the way that I think. I want to see the rematch, but the way that I saw the energy coming from Jermell Charlo and Charlo's camp, it seems like they don't want the rematch. But hopefully, knowing Jermell in his past, he is going to take that rematch, because that's why I call him Big Bro. I call him Big Bro because I know that he is about that. He doesn't just talk on social media and say that other shit. He does. He does say that, yo, if you want to see me, then you gonna come see me. That's why I do have faith. I do have faith that the rematch will happen. If anything gets in the way, then maybe it will be Al Haymon that gets in the way. But to me, it's like, why not, Al Haymon? Why not? Why not throw this on pay-per-view? It was a good fight. It's hyped up now. People are talking about it. It was a great, memorable first fight, so you can just imagine how the second fight would be. Put it on pay-per-view, Al. I mean, let's do it. Lions Promotions, Showtime, pay-per-view, let's go. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. I mean, listen, if y'all think that Charlo won, look, it is what it is. If you thought it was a draw, it is what it is. If you think Castano won, it is what it is. I just feel like the draw leaves a sour taste in my mouth, is because I just feel like somebody was supposed to be crowned Undisputed, man. Somebody was supposed to be crowned and nobody was crowned. It just feels like they put their blood, sweat, and tears in there, and they just walked away the same. That's what it feels like to me, and that's exactly what happened. And if we don't get a rematch, we get no clarity on who's undisputed. And that's what's not, to me, not good about this situation. Anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comment section, bro. This is Shadow Ghost, and until next time, I'm out.